Hey y'all, what's going on? This is Jesse Bose from the 19th hole, and I'm going to do the rookie guide for you all here this evening. This is for the South Coast tournament that will be starting on Monday, April 1st, and this is the brand new White Cliffs Golf Course. So we're going to be talking about holes 1 through 9. This is Tour 5, which will be the first tee and the rookie tournament. Unfortunately, we don't have access to play the second tee, so there will be no pro expert guide for this tournament because I have not had a chance to play the holes, and I'm not going to tell you how to play holes that I've never seen before from the tee. So we will do the first tee, which would be Tour 5, so if you haven't practiced yet, get on out there this weekend, play some Tour 5, hopefully get some of the new holes. But use this guide as kind of like a springboard into the tournament. Hopefully this can help you all kind of like get an idea of how to play the holes or what to be looking for when you do practice during the weekend. So we talk about the ways to play the holes, some different strategies, club selection, ball selection, and elevation changes. That's definitely going to be the biggest thing in this tournament, is the very large elevation changes that we will see here to this evening. So I'm going to minimize my picture because I'm the least important part of this video. And we're going to get this pen ready here, and we'll start talking about the holes. So we'll start here with hole number 1. We got hole number 1 here, and we start out with a par 4. All right, so for this first shot, we're going to be playing a plus 20% off the tee box for your drive. Basically, on this hole right here, I'm going to recommend probably going with at least a Quasar. You could use a katana ball. You know, if you want to use a marlin ball, you can use a marlin ball on this hole. I'm going to go use the extra mile. And then for your long iron, which is probably what you're going to use for your second shot, it's really going to depend on which way you decide to play this hole. It's either going to be a backbone if you're going to go for the rough bump, or if you want to try to go for some sort of a backspin shot, you're going to have a Saturn with a good amount of backspin to have a chance at this one. So the way you're going to play it off the tee box, 20% elevation change, like we said, and you either can play it straight, where you're bouncing it here and rolling it up into this area here, or you can try for the a curl shot, in which case you would bounce your shot somewhere in this zone right here, and you try to curl it out, bounce it here, and hop it over this bunker, hopefully hit somewhere in the fairway and roll out. The few times that I've tried this shot, I've actually clipped the edge of the rough, but still rolled out into the fairway quite nicely. So if you want to play the shot to the left, you want to play the shot with top spin and left spin. I would say go with at least 4 bars of top spin for that shot to the left. And if you want to play the shot to the right, you're going to go with the same amount of top spin, at least 4 bars, full right spin, and then you're going to use right curl, like maybe a ball to a ball and a half. So I was able to make the shot with the extra mile 6 and also a quarterback 7. So those were the 2 clubs that I was able to make this shot with. It feels to me more like a quarterback club shot if you want to play the shot to the right. But you do want to make sure you have a quarterback with at least 4 bars of topspin. So if you don't have that, then you want to look at your extra mile. And if you don't feel like you have the curl to take the shot with the extra mile, then you may just want to play the shot to the left. So playing the shot to the left, you do have the option for your second shot, which is going to be another elevation change. You're going to play a 30% elevation change for your second shot. Okay, so second shot is 30% elevation change. So if you're coming in from the left side, you have a couple options. First option is with your backbone. You'll be going for the rough bump right about there and trying to roll it into the hole. I think that gives you a pretty good chance of getting the eagle for sure. If you do play with the rough bump, you are going to want to play about 1.5 to 2 bars of topspin and try to aim that shot for the hole. If you don't feel comfortable with the rough bump, you can also play a shot over here to the left side with backspin and right spin, and you try to just curl that ball to the hole a little bit. Or if you have a Saturn that has a good amount of backspin, you could try a backspin shot with the Saturn. All right, and that's if you play it from the left side. Now, if you're going to play it from this right side, if you're able to get your shot to the right side, this would be definitely a backspin shot or even another rough bump opportunity here. Okay, I would not play the a full like a 30% adjustment for that shot though. I will go a little bit less because you are at a lower elevation than you would be if you were on the left side. So I would just play a 10% elevation change over on this right side if you do play the shot from the right side. So we got 30% for the left side, we got 10% for the right side, and we got 20% for the tee box. So a bunch of different types of elevation right there on hole number 1, but that's just kind of the way it's going to roll throughout this this course in this tournament. So let me check my notes, make sure there's nothing else that I wanted to add on this hole. And I think that's it for hole number 1. So let's go ahead and move on to hole number 2. All right, so we got hole number 2, and we've got our first par 3 here. We're going to play a plus 30% for our elevation change here on the tee box. And as far as what club you're going to want to use, you're going to want to use your wood club. More than likely, you're going to go with your big dog. I would say go with a Marlin or a Quasar ball. And, you know, if you're going to be playing the big dog, you're going to be bouncing your shot somewhere in this zone right here. And you'll be bouncing it over the rough and the bunker to about here. And then from there, you will be rolling it up to the hole. Now, if you have a higher level Guardian, you could possibly land it up to that second fairway area and use some backspin to try to control that shot. But from the times that I played it on Tour 5, the best success I had was with the big dog, surprisingly. Like we said, 30%. Now, the way you're going to want to play your spin on this shot will really depend on the type of wind that you have. So if you have a tailwind, let's see if I can write this down somewhere. I'll write this down here. Tailwind equals 2 bars a topspin. Okay? If you have a side wind, you're going to increase your topspin to about 3 bars of topspin. And if you have a headwind, then you're going to increase it even more to about 4 bars of topspin. Okay? So with a tailwind, 2 topspin, side wind, 3 topspin, and a headwind, 4 topspin. You will want to pair that with max left spin. Okay? On this hole. And you will see why when you do line up your shot. The kick you get is to the right, so you want to use that left spin to realign that ball guide and shot towards the hole. And just kind of figuring out that top spin. Once we find out the tournament and the wind that we're going to have on the tournament, we can try to work on fine-tuning this shot a lot better. And, you know, with brand new holes, you know, there's always new ways to play the hole that surfaces. So, you know, keep your eyes out for this tournament during the tournament week. And, you know, just be paying attention to other ways to play these holes. These are brand new holes to me, just as they are to you. So basically what we're talking about here is just kind of my first impressions on these holes and the way that I saw was the easiest way to play them from the start. Now, more than likely, the shots will evolve on these holes and we will find other ways to play them. So always stay open-minded when we are learning these new courses, especially for tournaments, because tournament week will know the wins, and then we can maybe figure out different ways to play these holes and fine-tune those shots. All right, next hole we got is hole number 3, and this one looks like, yeah, this is our first par 5 of the tournament, and wow, there are some really big par 5s here. It seems like this tournament. So right away off the tee box, we're going to play a plus 20%. I would definitely recommend going with your extra mile and your big dog for your 2 clubs of choice for this hole. And I would say a Titan ball. So you want to go with the Power 3 ball for this hole. The way you're going to play this shot is actually one of two ways. If you have a driver, you can possibly play it where you land it to this fairway and roll it up here. You know, if you don't have the club to do that, or if we have a really bad wind, you can also bounce it off this island and do the same thing. So you want at least 3.5 bars of topspin, maybe 4 bars of topspin for the shot. You want to go with spin to the left-hand side. I think I go with max spin to the left-hand side on my tutorial video, so that definitely works. Yeah, definitely want to go with that 3 to 4 bars of topspin and that left spin to get that shot up the fairway. So those are your basically the way that you want to play this hole. In my opinion, playing it to the left-hand side is not as much of an option. Even if you get it to this area of the fairway with some sort of skip shot, like an overpowered skip shot, you're still leaving yourself a very long and difficult shot towards the hole, just from the rookie standpoint. You know, just remember, winds aren't as high, clubs aren't as developed, and you're not using power 4 balls in the rookie. So the ability to make those shots just aren't quite there. And for that reason, I would say playing to the right side is your best opportunity to get the eagle, maybe even the albatross. So from this second shot position, you're not going to play any kind of elevation adjustment. You're going to be using your big dog. And honestly, you know, the position on the fairway after your drive is really going to determine the way you're going to play the second shot. The way I played it in my video was with, I think, 1 bar of backspin. That's because I was fairly far up that fairway. Now, if you're farther back in that fairway, then you may be landing your shot farther back here in the in the fairway compared to up here. So then you may be in a situation where you need to use topspin instead of backspin. So if you find yourself about midway on this fairway right here, maybe in this zone right here, you're more than likely going to be using some topspin. In which case, you know, you do want to make sure that you get your ball to the green. But I would definitely suggest about 0 to 2 bars of backspin. Hopefully you can get your shot to the front part of this fairway and then play that backspin shot to the green like I did. I think I went with 1 backspin and I got pretty close on my shot. Now, if you are farther back, then you're going to be looking for about 0 to 1 bar of topspin for that shot. Okay? And, you know, there's really not a whole lot to this hole besides getting that drive on the fairway. The second shot towards the green, this should be a very, 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 very easy eagle hole for everybody. Bring the right clubs, bring the right balls, get that eagle, give yourself a chance at the albatross, you know, and that's all you can really ask for. So next we got hole number 4, and this is definitely a par 3. On this hole, we're going to play a plus 30% adjustment for the elevation. I would definitely say you're going to be wanting to go with, I like the backbone for this hole, but you could use the Goliath as well if you have the Goliath. I like the backbone as always because of its high accuracy. That's usually the reason why I kind of more lean towards the backbone in the rookie level compared to the Goliath. Now, as far as the ball goes, you know, you don't need to go all out or anything like this because we will be bouncing the ball short on the island. So Marlin Quasar is really all you need to go with. We will be bouncing this ball short to somewhere in this zone right here and trying to roll it to the hole. The way you're going to do that is you're going to play about 3 to 4 bars of topspin on that shot off the island with your backbone towards the hole. Use some right spin, try to guide that ball to the hole, and then depending on what kind of a wind we have, you may need to use some right curl as well. So it'll just really depend on the type of wind that we get. This is yet another hole that if you do have a wood club, like let's say a Guardian, you could possibly go with a shot closer to the hole or to the green and use backspin. Lower level Vipers, lower level big dogs, you know, lower level snipers, I don't believe are going to have the correct amount of backspin to really go for that shot at the green. But if you do have a Guardian, even level 1 Guardian, it's going to have the backspin. It's going to have a really crappy ball guide though. But it will give you the backspin to actually go for that shot a little bit more at the hole, in relation to the green. So keep that in mind. But the easy play on this hole would be the long iron, either the backbone or the Goliath, and go with 3 to 4 topspin. Skip that shot over the water and try to roll that shot towards the hole with some spin. Okay. And next we got hole number, hole number 5. And we got another par 5. So for this shot right here, it's pretty flat from what I've seen. So I don't plan on playing any kind of an elevation adjustment for this shot. This is definitely going to be one of the tougher par 5s. In addition to the last hole on the course, I would say this is one of the top toughest holes on the course. Now, you do want to use a Titan ball, in my opinion. You want to have an extra mile and a big dog. So basically what you're doing is coming off this tee. You're going to be landing your shot somewhere in here with top spin and left spin, and even a little bit of left curl possibly, depending on the wind. I think I use a little bit of curl on my tutorial video, but the top spin and left spin is the key in getting your shot as far down that fairway into that little larger area where the fairway kind of opens up is what you want to be aiming for. Definitely could be a tight shot depending on what kind of a wind we have. But this is a hole where if you don't hit your drive correctly, you could be looking at a birdie or even maybe a par. So definitely important. So from the second shot here, you're going to play your big dog. You're going to be aiming for this zone right here. Full top spin and left spin to try to roll your ball up into this zone. And then from there, you will have a wedge shot to the hole. It's a very easy, a very makeable wedge shot from there. Now, if you do want to push it and go with a full overpower big dog shot, depending on what level your big dog is, you may have a chance to get to the green or like to the edge of the green. It really will depend on the amount of topspin that you have with your big dog. And if you're not comfortable overpowering the shot, I would not recommend trying for it. I don't ever recommend overpowering shots like that. I think you have a better percentage chance to play at just a regular shot up to the left-hand side of that bunker, and then go with the wedge shot. If you overpower it, low-level clubs equal low-level accuracy. So if you miss-hit an overpower shot, you may be looking at bunker or even the rough, which is something you don't want to be taking your shot out of. So make sure you make the consistent and accurate shot and give yourself the best possible percentage chance to hit the eagle chip, most likely for most of you all. Yes, you are going to be trying to make eagle chips. This is definitely a long par 5 hole. So let's see if we got anything else here to say. Nope, that was it for this hole. All right. Moving on along to hole number 6. And this is a par 4. And we're going to play a 20+ percent adjustment off the tee box. And we are going to be aiming our shot for right in there with a an extra mile. You want to use the extra mile. This is definitely a hole where you can use a Titan ball or a Quasar ball. This could be a Katana ball hole. You'll be playing with top spin and left spin, trying to roll your ball up this fairway into this zone right here. I have not tried the shot out personally, but I've looked at the shot, and I'm wondering if there's a slight chance that you could take a big topper and play some sort of a bounce shot in here, and then up through this, this rough area to possibly get into there. It's definitely a possibility. I have not tried it out. If anybody that watches this video has, and has done so successfully. I would definitely love for you all to post a video on the 19th hole. And just, if you want to, comment in the comment section with, with either your success of taking a shot like that or your failure. Either way, definitely would like to see the comment on that shot. So the way that we're going to talk about, though, is playing the shot to the left. Now, from here, I do want to make one thing clear. This green right here does slope down that way. So if you're thinking about using like a long iron with a lot of backspin and trying to do like a full backspin shot, you got to be very, very careful, because if you use too much backspin and you spin past the hole coming back, your ball's going to roll down into this bunker. I promise you, your ball will roll down to that bunker if it starts going down that hill. I've seen it happen way too many times already. So, in my opinion, the best way to play this hole is to aim your second shot here towards the base of this edge of here, this ledge right here, and play your shot up like that. I would definitely recommend playing about 2 to 3 bars of backspin on that shot. I liked using the backbone. It gave me a nice little ball guide to the hole. I just mishit mine great to the left during the tutorial, but it gave me a nice roll toward the hole, and I really liked the chances of it if I had hit a perfect shot. So that's the way I would play that hole, is with about 2 to 3 bars of backspin with the backbone. If you want to use the Goliath, you could also use the Goliath on that shot. If you're just bound and determined to use like the Saturn or something like that and go, more directly at the hole, definitely my suggestion to you would just be careful on the amount of backspin that you use, and hopefully you have a chance to give it a run through a time or two, just to make sure that your shot will be safe and secure, and that you won't be rolling back down into that bunker, because that would definitely be devastating if that happened. And trying to chip from that bunker up that hill, up that slope, back at that pin would not be fun. Okay? All right, moving on to hole number 7. Here we go. We got hole number 7, par 3. This is our last par 3. I would definitely recommend going with the Viper or the Sniper for this hole. I preferably would suggest the Sniper to give yourself that nice ball guide. I like Quasar ball, and this one right here will be a plus 30% for the adjustment. And the key to this hole is finding a consistent landing spot. So if you're going with the Viper or the Sniper, I would definitely recommend laying your shot here up in the front part, in front of that bunker edge, and playing the shot up that way. Would play with about 2 to 3 bars of topspin, where you would bounce over the bunker, and then if you want to use that Sniper ball guide to try to aim that shot toward the hole, I believe that would be the best way possible. So you'll just use 2 to 3 bars of topspin, and then use that right spin as needed for that shot to direct it towards the hole. Now, a shot that I haven't tried out yet would be another guardian shot, where you could carry the shot a little bit farther up and a little bit more towards the green. But I have not tried that yet. So if anybody here tries that, definitely tell us how it works, and if you feel like it it gives you any more of an advantage over going with a Sniper or a Viper and bouncing that shot over the bunker towards the green in that fashion. All right. Let's move on. We got hole number 8 here, and this is I think it's par 4. Yeah. Okay, so for this shot right here, we're not going to get very cute off the tee box. We're just going to play a 10% adjustment, and we'll be looking for our hop shot here across the sand and rolling it up to the fairway here, hopefully to that right there. Now, I like a Titan ball for this hole, or a Quasar. Now, with a Titan ball and a favorable wind, you can play a shot where you're bouncing it right here with topspin and right spin over this sand and rolling it up into this zone as well. That is definitely another possible way to play this hole. And I would definitely recommend, if you want to play it with that shot, you want to do it in the presence of a tailwind, and you may want to look at the quarterback. You can play this hole either of those shots that I showed you, left or right, with the quarterback or an extra mile. And you probably would want to play it with whichever club gives you the most amount of topspin. So if you're going to play with the quarterback, you do want to play it if it's a little bit higher of a level quarterback, most likely. So for our second shot, we're going to be playing it. I like to play this one with the sniper, or you can play it with the Viper, the Guardian, or the Big Dog. There's really not 100%. This is the club that you should play this hole with. I like the sniper because I like the ball guide. I like the backspin. I think it gives me the perfect amount of backspin to make this shot, about 3 bars of backspin. You'll bounce it off this slope before the green and up to the green. Now, if you're going to play this shot farther up the slope, you do want to play an uphill shot. So that would be about a -5% elevation change. If you're going to play the shot more at the base of the slope, then I wouldn't worry about it. I would just play a 0%. I'd just play it straight up. But if you are going to ride that shot a little bit farther up the slope, then I would look into a -5% adjustment for your shot. Other than that, you want to play your spin correctly. I play a little bit of an offset for the wind on the shot, and it's going to be a pretty high bounce on the shot as well. So it's definitely going to be a very difficult shot, but I believe this could be one of those holes where you have a good chance to possibly pick up that eagle. This hole right here, and then let me see, what was the other hole that kind of had the hole number 6 definitely gives you a chance to pick up that eagle on the par 4. But man, this is the course that's going to make you earn those eagles, which I like. I like that they're trying to make you earn your score here. I don't think we're going to see any like crazy -30s at all. It's definitely a very technical and accuracy driven course. Last and final hole, we got hole number 9 here. We ended on a par 5, and we're going to play this one with a plus 20% adjustment off the tee box. In the rookie, I believe there's only one way to play it. That's with the Titan ball, an extra mile, and a Big Dog. Your shot will be bouncing here. You are going to use backspin on this shot. I would say somewhere between 3 to 4 bars of backspin, because you do want to make sure that you stop this shot. Okay? Max right spin, 3 to 4 bars of backspin. You want to bounce that ball right here and roll it up into this zone right here. You don't want to go past that zone because the fairway does start sloping downwards and downwards, and you will end up down in the bunker, which you don't want to do. Okay? So use backspin on the drive, full right spin, and then you want to use a Titan ball. Not for the drive, but for the second shot. The second shot with your Big Dog is going to really test your golf clash skills here. The farther you get up on your drive, this is the tricky part. The farther you get up on your drive, the easier it makes it for your second shot. But you've got to decide how risky that you do want to get on that drive, because if you go too far, then you will roll down into the bunker, which you don't want to do. So I would definitely say just play it safe. Take a good ball with you. Take your longest wood with you, and play for that second shot. Now here's the tricky part. The second shot is very severely downhill. If you watch my tutorial video, I actually zoom down to the level of the fairway and show you how much downhill this is. So I want to play this with 30% adjustment for the elevation, and it may even be more than 30%. I played at 30%, and it played fairly true. It may be a little bit closer to 35 or 40%, but I played it at 30%. If we need to change that, down the road, then that's fine. Don't ever be afraid to change the way you set up a shot if you don't feel like it's working for you. That's part of the game, and as a player, that should be part of your development, is to trust that instinct on when to, know to change the shot around. So I'm going to stick with 30% for now, but it's definitely could possibly be more than the 30%. So here we go. Use of topspin or backspin will greatly depend on where you are on the fairway for your second shot. Okay? The closer you can land this ball to the edge of this fairway up here, the less topspin you need. Okay? If you are laying it near the edge, then you may want to go and look at more more backspin, or just a small amount of topspin. And if you have a tailwind, you definitely want to consider the small backspin or the small amount of topspin. That's really going to be a judgment call on your end, and it's going to depend on where you put your drive. Now, if you have a side wind, you're probably definitely going to want to go with some topspin no matter where you're at. And I would say somewhere in the neighborhood of 2 to 3 bars of topspin if you do have some sort of a side wind for your second shot. If you have a headwind, God forbid we have a headwind in rookie, you will want to up that topspin a little bit, even a little bit more, somewhere around 3 to 4 bars of topspin. So you bounce over the bunker, you're going to land here, and then you're going to roll it out to the hole. You may want to possibly use some left side spin on the shot to kind of guide that ball towards the hole. But believe it or not, the most important part of this second shot is definitely going to be the adjustment for the elevation. So I think we said 30%. So yeah, somewhere between 30 to 40% will be the elevation for that shot. So that's hole number 9. That's how you're going to play it. And definitely, like I said, keep your eyes open on the communities. Brand new course. Sometimes the initial way that we think that may be a good way to play the hole doesn't end up being the best way to play the hole. Someone may discover a different way to play it with a better shot, and always be prepared and open to make that change if you feel like it has a possibility to improve your score. There's definitely no shame in using someone else's shot if it's better than the shot you are using. Because in the end, all that matters is the score. It doesn't matter how you got to the score as long as it was done legally and fairly. And, if the shot is out there in video form for you to see, then it's fair game, in my opinion. So, anyways, that was the White Cliff golf course, and brand new, 9 holes, very cool. Definitely look forward to getting to play this, even though there will be no practice at all on the T2. So it's going to be like completely newness for everybody, which is kind of cool. It starts everybody out on a pretty equal playing field. Mm-hmm. So if you haven't done so yet, and you enjoyed this stream, definitely give that thing a thumbs up, and tell your friends about it. If you enjoyed the channel, subscribe to the channel and set up your notifications so that you can be notified. That was weird. When I do release new videos, and then also when I do go live and stream for the tournament. We do have a Facebook community, one that I created quite a while ago. We're up to like 3.6 thousand members now. And if you do want to join us on Facebook, you can go to your search bar and type in Golf Clash the 19th hole, and it'll pull up the page. It's going to ask you to answer 3 easy, simple questions. We have that there to prevent bots and then people who just don't give a care about putting a little bit of effort in. Answering 3 questions is a pretty simple thing to do. Takes a few seconds to do. And then we would definitely love to get you in our community and make you part of our 19th family. We do have a clan system, over 15 clans, including one Champion 100 clan, and many Pro 3 pushing up to Expert 1 clans as well. So we definitely have a little bit of everything for everyone. Even if you are a casual player, we do have casual clans. So definitely, check us out and tell your friends about it. Y'all have a good day. Good luck practicing on the weekend, and good luck to y'all on the tournament starting on Monday for qualification. Y'all have a good night or a good day, and God bless.